What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna make a video for those guys that don't know how to install plywood. I'm gonna resheet this house today in one day, me and one guy. But in order for you to do it at the same speed that I do, you gotta learn some tricks before you go out there and do plywood. Okay? Always when you have a valley and you have a gable, you got to start from the valley first, okay? Because it's easier to do one cut from the valley than to start from the gable and do a lot of cuts over there on the valley, measuring one by one. I only do like one measurement on the valley, and that measurement gives me the layout for everything that I need. So for that, I'm gonna show you today how I do it. So today I'm gonna guide you through the steps to how to do the layout. See, I'm gonna take one plywood and lay it out over here. Okay, and then I'm gonna measure from the top and cut on the bottom. Okay, once you have the plywood like this, you're gonna measure on the top how much it measures. Right now it says it's 45.5, so I'm gonna measure on the bottom now 45.5 and cut it in an angle. Once you have your measurement, you snap a check line across and you cut it. It, and then this angle right here is gonna fit on that angle over there, and that angle you save it for another cut for the other side. See, once you have the angle figured out, you go ahead and cut 3 plywoods of the same angle, which is 45. This time it was 45.5, so we're gonna go ahead and cut 3 plywoods and just put them in place. And that way it's gonna give you a faster layout, okay? 45.5. Now that I know the angle, I don't have to go there and measure. I already know the angle, so I'm just gonna cut them and put them in place. Since I'm installing a ridge band, I'm removing the last board on the top and installing a wood button to leave a space for the airflow. So I'm gonna use the ridge band. So I use a wood button and I leave in about 2-3 inches of space. Mauro, desenrédame la manguera, por favor. Mira, Jonathan, hazme un favor, agarra todos esos cables y súbelos para allá, esas piezas, mira. Jonathan. These fucking guys, they don't know how to work along with others. They make a mess. See, I put a piece of wood button, and then I'm gonna cut my stuff right there. So you see how easy it is. How easy it is to lay out the plywood when it's pre-cut. Just lay it out and that's it. And now I'm just gonna stick my new plywood to that one, and that's gonna give me a faster layout, and the cut over here on the end is gonna be easier. See, it took me about half an hour to get done with this half side of the garage, and now I'm gonna start on the other side. I already left an opening for the airflow. I'm gonna put a ridge vent, so that's why I removed the board on the top. Okay. Now I'm doing the cut that's gonna go underneath This cut is gonna go underneath that side. It's always easier to start from the valleys. And then you just push this one, it's gonna fit right into the valley. See it? So you got a perfect straight valley. Empújale más, Mauro. Empújale más, empújale. Empújale para allá, empújale. See? Perfect. As I go installing my plywood, I usually put a nail in each rafter. And if you want to save plywood, you're gonna mark your 1x6s, and then you're gonna put 1.5-inch nails. This is starting the other angle, because we already know the measurement of this valley. It's 42.5. So each valley is different, okay? So don't think that all the valleys are 45 or whatever, you know. Cuidado. See? And it's easier to cut over there, to cut on the end, just a straight cut instead of like be measuring angles, stuff like that. Once you put your plywood in place, you do your valley, you only follow behind and put the full sheet, and you go like that until you finish. When you're nailing your plywood, you gotta push with your foot like this to make an opening, like an eighth of an inch. Push with your foot, and then you open the plywood. Push. ¿Qué pasó, amor? And then push. Nails. No, every 6 inches you gotta put a nail on the laps. Then right here, mark your rafters with the nail gun. 1 hour later, I'm done with the garage. You just put it in place, and now I'm gonna start this side. Make sure that you mark your rafters, okay? Look, I made a mark on the existing plywood for the rafters, so when I snap a chuck line, I already know where to mark. Ahí déjalo, Mauro, de ese lado. Ahí déjalo, ahí tíralo. Tíralo ahí. And right here, you see? See my mark? Right here. So it's following that rafter. Ahí tíralo. The leftover corners on that side, see, like this corner, left over from the floor plywood. I use them when on the other side of the valley. Let's say, for example, sometimes I trim a little bit, but they fit perfectly on the other side. See it? And now from there I'm gonna stick the full one, and like that. Okay, this is my plywood. See how I did it. Espérate, Diego! We just put it in place. It's 27 squares, 2,700 square feet, about 90 pieces of plywood. Put it in place, and tomorrow morning we snap chuck lines, and we're gonna nail it in place. I wanna say that whenever you leave in a gap for the enrichment, leave about 1.5 inch on the top and about 2.5 inches on the bottom, so that way you know you have the airflow. You don't have to open about 5-6 inches, otherwise you're gonna have water leaks. It happened to me in the past. I opened too much, and then when the water came, it just went into the attic through the ridge, and I said, what happened? And then I found out that I opened too much. So from now on, I'm very cautious about, when I do my cuts. I put everything in place. All the plywood is in place, and it just needs to be nailed down. It's my favorite brand of my favorite gun. It's Hitachi. What else? Tomorrow I'll try to give you another idea how to nail. I'm gonna send somebody on the bottom to mark the rafters on the edge, and then somebody else gonna snap lines over here, and then we're gonna go like that. It's a simple stuff once you know how to do it. Me and another guy, we installed 27 squares of plywood in one day. So and we started around 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we still managed to get it done, put everything in place. And tomorrow we're gonna come and knock it off. Okay, so we should be able to get it done tomorrow. This is the garage, and this is how it looks now. Totally different, huh? You have the radium barrier plywood sheeting underneath, OSB. What was I gonna say? Nothing. Okay, when you do the cuts on the valleys, the leftover corner, you're gonna use it on the other side of the valley. You see, I use the corners on this side. 1, 2. I got three corners from here. I use it on this side. I got 3 corners on this side, and I use it on this side. 1, 2, 3, and like that. I had to have a weird angle of the valley. On one side, on the bottom, is kicking more, so I managed to do it like this. Tomorrow, when it's nailed down, I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so hopefully you like it. Tomorrow I'm gonna install new fascia board, and I'm gonna go like that. Day 2. It's about 9 o'clock Saturday. I just came to re-nail the plywood. You see, I snap chuck lines all the way to the end, and I'm gonna start nailing the plywood. I usually snap chuck lines because I've seen guys, they nail without marking the rafters, but then later they spend half of the day pulling out their nails when the inspector comes, and that way, I don't pull nails out of the shine. They call them shiners. I don't pull my shiners. When I get done, I just wrap it up and go home. It takes me about half an hour to snap chuck lines, and about an hour and a half to nail the entire roof. It's about 27 squares. Some of the areas I'm not gonna nail them because, for example, this area, I need to do the shingles underneath before I do the fascia in the plywood. So I'm just gonna nail on that side. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave the roof covers over the weekend. I'm gonna come back Monday and pass inspection, roof sheeting inspection. So Monday morning my roof is gonna be loaded with shingles. Like I said, today is Saturday, so I'm trying to have a short day and hopefully wrap it up by noon. It's 9 o'clock. 2 guys are gonna start doing the fascia on the bottom. It's about 200 linear feet of fascia board. It's not much, so should be done by noon, everything. What else? That's it. So I guess nothing out of the ordinary. Just another roof. All right, guys. See you later. Remember to leave a gap between your plywood for the expansion. Remember, when it gets wet, when it gets humid, when it's raining, your plywood is gonna expand because it's gonna trap the moisture in the attic. It's gonna expand. If you leave it too tight, you're gonna have buckles on your roof, and they're gonna reflect through your shingles. Okay, so think about that. Okay, I'm gonna start nailing right now.